thanks for joining us on the news on Cbc TV. I am Emanuela Moni. First, a headline. Former GCE Board Registrar has been appointed Registrar of the Cameroon Baptist University Institute CBUI. Dr. Humphrey Ekema-Monono, former registrar of the Cameroon GCE Board, is now registrar of the Cameroon Baptist University Institute CBUI. He was appointed on the 17th of June 2026 by the executive president of the CBC, Reverend Dr. Teke John Ekema. Senior reporter Emmanuel Woloko reports.
The CBC leadership is doing everything to ensure that the Cameroon Baptist University Institute, CBUI, officially kicks off this 2026-2027 academic year. After the appointment of the Vice-Chancellor and his deputy comes the Registrar, Dr. Humphrey Ekema-Monono. He has a wealth of experience as former Registrar of the Cameroon GCE Board, former principal of GHS Kumba, Bilingual Grammar School, Moliko Boya, former director of secondary education and inspector general. He is currently president of the Association for Education Assessment in Africa. His appointment comes a few days after the CBC General Council ratified the charter of the CBUI, adopted on the 22nd of May at the Baptist Center in Bamenda, in a CBUI board meeting chaired by the CBC Executive President, the Reverend Dr. Teke John Ekema. It is important to note that the Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education, Professor Jacques Famdongo, authorized in September 2025 the Cameroon Baptist University Institute to run a couple of programs. For example, on the campus in Yaoundé, the Baptist Higher Institute of Professional Studies offers degrees and HNDs in tourism and travel, hotel management, computer engineering, home economics, engineering technology, education management, communication, computer engineering, electrical and electronics, amongst other programs. It is important to note that parents and students are already making inquiries on what the Cameroon Baptist University Institute has to offer.
The men's director of the CBC, Reverend Django Richard, has paid a visit to Bello Field. He was warmly received by the men of this field who were trained on the different topics with regards to Vision 2030. Elvis Doe, a Bello Field correspondent, tells us more in the following report.
The men's director of the CBC, the Reverend Jago Richard, and his team of monitoring and evaluation of Vision 2030 have paid a visit to Bello Field on Saturday, 28th June 2026. The director and his team were received by the field men's chairman, Mr. Nchoji Samuel, and the field pastor, the Reverend Dr. Jam Samuel. It was a massive attendance as men came from all over the 8 associations of Bello Field to receive the director and his team, whose visit was aimed at encouraging and praying with the men, and also to carry out the training on Vision 2030. To do various topics such as monthly reporting templates for fellowships, membership registration format, and activity planning templates, the men were drilled on various ways of planning, monitoring, and evaluating formats. CBC Radio spoke to Mr. Song Lawrence, who gives his appraisal on the training.
The men's program today, which is also a seminar to update us and help us to develop our strategies on how we can see Vision 2030 as a reality and a program that has come to remain. I want to appreciate it all. In fact, I'm saying that I have really been blessed because at first I did not even know how to give a proper report on the activities that we have to carry out as men. And secondly, it has really helped me so much too to be able to know that if work is done and is not reported, is no work done.
He was also a visible satisfied director as he leaves Bellowfield.
Thank you very much. We are glad to be here in Bellowfield. We came over to Bellow to have this capacity building training with the men of Bellowfield. Came over challenging them to see how far they can go with implementation. So we came over to help them see how they can work on planning on Vision 2030, reporting on Vision 2030. And at the end of it all, we are receiving testimonies already. Based on the evaluation that we just had, the men are testifying and they are happy. One thing that I must comment on is having to do with the turnout. In fact, the turnout has been massive. We registered above 100 men in Bellowfield, and so I must say kudos to the Bellowfield pastor and also to the Bellowfield chairman. I mean, more than above 20 pastors also attended this training, and this is something great.
Cbc TV also caught up with Mr. Nchoji Samuel, the men's chairman, and a few pastors who shared their thoughts with us.
First of all, I am excited as a female's chair to receive my director here. Each time he comes, it warms my heart because he will speak to my people and reinforce the instructions that he gives me. A twin occasion because I was receiving him and receiving the team of M&E to come and do the training. It was a very successful training, and I hope that reporting is going to improve. In fact, I'm a thankful chairman, men's chairman, and I'm thankful.
Today, the 20th of June 2026, is the day that we receive the director of the men's department of the Cameroon Baptist Convention, and we are so grateful and thankful that he came all the way from the Baptist Center with a team, a wonderful team, and our expectation is that with all the lessons that we have received, the men of Bellowfield have received, that this will be a time of transformation, will be a time of reawakening. We expect the men of Bellowfield to sit up in all that God required them to do in their local church and local congregation.
At the end of the training, the men left satisfied and pledged to implement the training received.
In the same light, one of the projects of the men's executive is embarking on the Men's Retreat Center. Individuals and groups have been making contributions towards its realization. The last decking of the Men's Retreat Center has been done. This was on Friday, the 19th of June 2026. The head of the project, Engineer Ngibu Bernard, was interviewed by Cbc TV.
We are completing the decking, the last decking today. As you can see, the workers are behind us. They are rounding up. I'm very happy. We had a very good weather, and we have not recorded any incident like accident here. Everything started smoothly and is ending smoothly. So we give God the glory, and we want to thank the various fellowships who have contributed so far for the realization of this project. And we are saying that if the other fellowships who are still behind should meet up so that we can complete this project.
Men of Salvation Baptist Church Obili in Yaoundé have been called upon to be responsible as they carry their priestly role in their families. This was during Father's Day celebration on the 21st of June 2026. Our Yaoundé field correspondent Nadej Nzelamunye completes that story.
The men of Salvation Baptist Church Obili Yaounde joined their peers nationwide on Sunday to celebrate Father's Day in a service filled with praise, teaching and renewed commitment to family leadership. The event was marked by moments of praise and celebration. An educative sketch was also presented, highlighting the crucial role men must play in their homes. While delivering the sermon of the day, the church chairman called on the men to be responsible as they carry out their priestly role within the family.
Remind us of our duty as fathers towards our children and our wives, that we as men need to teach our children the principles of God, to teach them God's commandments, Bible stories, and the lessons to learn from them, and also to warn them about the ills of the present society in which we find ourselves and how to deal with them.
Some men expressed their satisfaction with the lessons learned and acknowledged the critical role they play in the upbringing of their children.
The responsibility was given to us by God to be priests of our home. And by being a priest of your home, you are the one to mold the children, to bring them up in a godly way. So I think fathers should stand up and take the responsibility and raise their children in a godly manner.
The message of today called our attention to that again, that we should, inculcate the words in the lives of our children, and we should also live by example. And we are commemorating that we are taking that engagement, that this time around, from now henceforth, we would make sure that we don't only speak, but that we inculcate the word in the lives of our children.
The ceremony also featured an impressive drill displayed by the Boys Brigade, which added color and discipline to the celebration. For their part, the mothers supported the fathers with fruit, which was used to fish out other men, symbolizing encouragement and outreach. The women also prayed for the fathers, asking God to help them carry out their priestly role successfully.
Men in the community to Jesus Christ. Let us bring our young men and young.
The fathers ended the day in celebration, with many committing themselves to applying the lessons learned in their homes and communities.
This edition of the news is a special one because we have a special guest in the studio in the person of Reverend Liberty Aya, who is the director of the Youth and Student Department of the CBC. Good morning, Reverend, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Mone. Good morning.
Yes, it's a few days to the start of the Youth Leadership Conference. How prepared is the department?
Everything has been put in place. The materials that have been used, the venues where the camps are going to be holding, everything has been set. The speakers are all ready together with the facilitators, and in a little less than 2 weeks, we will kickstart with the new center. That is the 3rd and 4th of July. And we will just cure with Boya, being 9th to the 11th of July. And it's going to be hosted in the Ebenezer Baptist Church Great Sopo in Boya. Then, towards the end of July, 23rd to the 25th, we are going to be in Maroa at Mission Baptist Church Miskin, where we'll be holding the last Youth Leadership Conference there.
All right, before meeting the youths in these different conferences, in the different centers where the conference is going to hold, what particular thing do you want to tell the youths before you meet them?
Yeah.
I want to encourage all the youths who are listening to us to get set for this leadership conference. We have prayerfully and carefully selected the keynote speakers and facilitators, and we trust that this particular youth leadership conference is going to be a defining moment for the leadership of the youth department of the Cameroon Baptist Convention. So we call on all the youths to be there.
Thank you so much, Reverend Liberty Aya, for being our guest on this edition of the news. It is on this note that we draw the curtains on this newscast, and you are reminded that in our next edition you will have a full package of Father's Day celebrations. Stay tuned and keep watching CBC TV.